where Connell, one of the protagonists, goes to a literary reading, and he feels incredibly alienated from what he sees. He feels that writers turn up to events full of people from a particular class with a particular educational background. Essentially, the writer sells them the product, which is cultured existence in the form of a commodity, and the commodity is a book. And people can purchase this book and therefore purchase their way into a seemingly cultured class. And that all of the money that changes hands in the book industry is actually just people paying to belong to a class of people who read books. Yeah, and that is something that I definitely worry about and feel implicated in. First of all, that there's a large extent to which it involves sealing off the appointed cultural producers from normal life, like by, festivals and events and like dinner parties and book launches, that the economic and cultural backing of this world is a way of taking writers from their background, whatever it may be, and making them part of a special class which is somewhat fenced off from like normal life as it proceeds in the outside world. And I'm very skeptical of that process, and I'm very skeptical of the way in which books are marketed as commodities, like almost like accessories which people can fill their homes with, like beautiful items that you can fill your shelves with and therefore become a sort of book person. I guess the reason that I feel skeptical of all that is because it makes me feel that books have no potential to speak truth to power. They have no potential as political texts because of the role they play in the culture economy. That's already predetermined how people are going to read them. So even if the book is full of Marxist propaganda, it's still sealed off from any real political potential because of its position as a commodity in this market. The way that I think about the world that we live in is probably mostly through a sort of Marxist framework. I'm never quite sure how to make that way of thinking sit alongside the fiction that I write. I don't know what it means to write a Marxist novel. I don't know, and I would love to know. So even though that's the sort of analytical structure that helps me to make sense of the world around me, I can't necessarily always accommodate that structure in the form of a novel. So it's kind of something that I struggle with and that I think about a lot when I'm writing. And one way that it influences my work, which obviously you note, is that I write a lot about social class. But I don't think there's a straightforward way of doing that. I mean, I guess you could say that the idea of a Marxist novel probably has to do with writing about, working class characters, and certainly that is one approach to a socialist novel. And I think it's obviously very important, but it also raises important questions about what do we understand the working class to mean. The people that I write about tend to be kind of precariously situated in the economy. Like they're usually college educated, like I am, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are financially stable or secure. And again, I mean, that just goes back to writing about the world that I encountered when I came out of college, when I had enough of a developed brain to notice what I was seeing around me. Those were the only tools, the only material that I could draw on to make sense of. I don't believe in the idea of independent people. I don't believe that anyone is independent from anyone, because the more that I think about how our world is structured, we all rely on each other's labor all the time. I mean, for the food we eat, for the clothes that we wear, somebody has to make them, somebody has to farm the food, somebody has to, pick the crops, and all of that is happening so that we can have the lives that we have. So part of it is happening for me on that structural level, that it's understanding that my life is sustained by the work of other people all the time. So to believe in myself as an individual or as an independent person, it just seems like delusional. Like, I'm not independent. Independent from what? I mean, my life is only sustained by my position within all these networks that I belong to, whether I like it or not. That's human life. It's not sustainable otherwise. We all rely on each other. So I guess that's happening on one level, which is the very big general level. And then to try and make that work in a microscopic sense, like it works in novels, is to try and observe just how much one person can change one person. to try and show that even on that level, the individual is never really the individual. It's always, you're always a culmination of the influence of others. And then I guess that's part of what a novel can do, is take an idea like that, which people might say, okay, sure, yeah, people can change each other. I mean, maybe, I have no objection to it. But illustrating it and dramatizing it and making it real, so that at the end of the book, the person is saying, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense in a new way, maybe. It's not just that I know that it's technically true or it's intellectually true, it's I feel it to be like emotionally true. I've seen it happen.